Oh, okay, great. To start off with, Joe, I wanted to ask you, are we allowed to use the term ghostbusting with this series at all, or is it completely different?
You can use the term ghostbusting. My friend and colleague Edgar Wright referred to the show as Gothbusters, which is quite good. But yeah, I mean, it's not as silly as Ghostbusters. It's funny, I think. It's a funny show, our show, but it's a different kind of humour where we never sacrifice the scares or the stakes for the humour, you know. So it's a bit more of a grounded, credible world than Ghostbusters. And we don't have any proton packs either. We got swords instead.
The swords are very good. So yes, let's start with Cameron. How was your sword work? Did it did it take a long time to learn? Who was the kind of gifted swords person?
We did about 2 months of sort of prep, including a lot of sword training with a sword master and a stunt team. I think sword master is the coolest job title in the industry. But no, it was great. We were very supported, very well looked after, and challenged as well. And that was really cool. That was really fun. And in terms of who's the most gifted swords person, I'd probably go the stunt team. I'd probably go with them because I think
out of us three, I'd say Cameron. Yeah.
I'd say Joe. Yeah, maybe Joe.
I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah.
Though actually, your scene with the smoke jets.
Oh my God,
really
yeah,
impressive.
that was really awesome.
Yeah, I think I wish I could have done more, you know, but what I did get to do was really fun.
Oh, I love the smoke jet stuff. That's great. It's really good. And obvious question for all, really. Have you ever seen a ghost or a visitor?
A visitor? I personally have never seen a ghost, but we did spend a lot of time in spooky locations, so.
Alli, have you seen a ghost?
Well, I'm thinking about whether to reveal your plot about whether we maybe make up a ghost story.
The thing is, maybe you've seen a ghost, but you don't know it.
Okay.
Whenever you encounter anybody, sometimes ghost stories go in that way that you meet someone, and then the next day they go, "You met who? But she died 2 weeks ago." So you never know who might be a ghost, right?
That happens to me.
Yeah.
All
I happen to know that Cameron Chapman has not seen a ghost, and he's so blatant about it. He's provoking the ghosts.
Yeah.
He actually wants the ghosts.
I'm sorry, but they're not real. They're not real.
You can't say that when you've done a show.
If you think that, no, I know it's blasphemy in my
joking,
position, but you know, if you've seen a ghost, good for you. But be honest, you didn't. You know?
Be honest.
But be honest with yourself.
This is the thing where I know that when you've made a spooky show, everyone wants to know if something spooky happened on the set. But sometimes, you know, like 1 times out of 10, something weird did happen and it's a good story. So I feel like I have to ask it anyway. Did anything weird happen on the set?
We definitely shot in some very spooky locations. We shot in Kensal Green Cemetery. We shot in a bunch of stately homes. But film sets are such busy, chaotic places that I think even if a poltergeist had started throwing stuff around, if a spectral ghost had turned up, I don't think anyone would have noticed. Right? The ghost would be really annoyed that no one was seeing it.
We've only got 5 minutes.
Yeah, get out of the way, ghost.
Get out of the way.
Come on,
We've got a
turn
shot
over.
to get. Yeah.
Amazing. So Ruby, we've seen you before in Bridgerton, obviously, and you've left the show and you're doing this one instead. So what was your decision making with picking ghosts over gowns?
I think, yeah, I loved working on that show, being surrounded by such a wonderful and incredible cast and crew, and then playing that character as well. And I actually think, you know, it was more the sense of being able to observe and take in and understand and soak up so much on that show and learn so many valuable things from the people around me that actually it afforded me kind of to have, you know, go on and do a show like this, and it prepared me more in a sense.
Does anybody ever tell you that you look a little bit like Florence Pugh?
That is the biggest compliment, thank you.
I thought she was talking to Joe.
Well, it could be. No, I've had it a couple of times when I'm kind of on like sets and stuff, but I wish, you know, in my biggest dreams. But big compliment, thank you.
I just think there's a casting choice there in the future, you know.
You know, I would, I'd love that.
And Alli, who do you kind of think this show will appeal to? Because, you know, Wednesday did really well. It also kind of had that kind of gothic vibe to it. But, you know, who do you think this show is like for?
Well, obviously it has a YA title, but I think we kind of hope the show will appeal to everyone because of how dark the stakes are. Throughout, there's a lot of drama that feels really real and not kind of teenagery. But also throughout, there's a lot of fun. So hopefully, because of the great balance of the show, it could appeal to everyone.
And Cameron, is this your first role?
It is, yeah. It is my first job.
So how was it? What, you know, was it as you expected it to be?
No, it wasn't. But it was the opportunity of a lifetime, I guess, and working with, you know, people that as I was telling Joe the other night, that I've written about in essays at school. You know, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, right?
I mean, first go out having a show with your, you know, the title of your character's name in the title is very good.
It's the company name, really. It is the company name. If we're being
Lockwood Co.
Yeah, Lockwood Co. If we're being pedantic.
Your company.
It is my company, though. Lockwood's company, but yeah.
And Joe, obviously, you know, everybody still loves Attack the Block, and using kind of the youth and the kids, the language that, you know, long gone for me. But how do you kind of stay connected with the way younger people are talking and interacting?
Travel by bus. And sit on the top deck. There you go. There's a punchy, simple answer. No, well, you know, these are based on these brilliant books by Jonathan Stroud, and Lockwood Co. is set in a parallel reality. So in this story, it's not so, you know, we're not particularly trying to capture any kind of specific contemporary feeling. We could, in a way, invent our own version of what youth culture would be like in the world of Lockwood Co. With Attack the Block, we did a lot of research, and we're working on a sequel now, and we're doing a lot of research that sometimes involves transposing verbatim what young people say in interview sessions. So different worlds, you do use different methods to try and get it as truthful as possible, you know.
It's great. Yeah, I often get on the bus and have to look things up afterwards.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone. I really enjoyed the show. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with everything. My time's up, so I'm going to disappear, I think.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet you.
Bye.
Yeah, lovely to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right. Bye.